the public knows nothing of what's really going on in music today. Music as it exists, I mean, you take the outer limits of music, wham, the most advanced work done today in the musical field, and the bulk of the population doesn't even know it's happened yet, because there are kids that are piddling along, writing their shit saying, I just made up the most fantastic thing, and if they knew that the best that they could write today was already written and performed in 1912, I mean, like a piece like Amarix by Edgar Varese, written in 1912, would scare the average teenager to death, and I mean really scare him to death. Vanguard just released a recording of it. First it was a Rockefeller grant that put it together. It's for a large orchestra, large percussion battery. It uses 2 different sirens. And it's just astonishing, man.
Is it even more, wilder than, say, Carmina Burana?
Much. Have you ever heard any of the music of Varese?
I'm afraid I don't.
Yeah. Well, let's see. He lived and died in New York. I think he died last February. His birthday is today, as a matter of fact, December 22nd. He was born in the 1800s in Paris. And he lived at 188 Sullivan Street. And a lot of the people in the village knew him. And he was really an outrageous guy. And the stuff that he wrote, the average American doesn't even know he was alive, let alone that what he wrote has virtually changed the shape of all the music of the composers that have heard it, because of the way he dealt with percussion instruments.
How do you spell the composition that I don't know that often?
Amarix, Ameriques, conducted by David Abravanel, Utah Symphony Orchestra, Vanguard. It's the best recording of a symphony orchestra that I've ever heard. I got a stereo version of the thing, and you can hear the flute players breathing on the goddamn thing, and it's such a big orchestra. You wonder, and it doesn't even give the engineer credit on the album.
Yeah, they're unsung heroes in a lot of cases.
Yeah, well, this is a masterpiece. But anyway, the kids don't know what the fuck is happening in music. And they have a right to know, because all the music that lives today is being written by the young people.
Right.
Most of the, I won't say most, but a great quantity of the so-called serious music that's written in America today by the older cats is very sterile. It just doesn't happen, And it's still, the reason it doesn't happen is because they never get a chance to hear it. How are you going to hear your mistakes? What you write down on paper is a mere indication, in most cases, of what it actually will sound like. You can only guess so far until you get that into an actual acoustic environment and hear what the composition is going to be like. These guys never get a chance to find out where they're missing out.
In the beginning, how did you start getting away from traditional forms of music into your own thing? Well, I guess one way to start is to go. Can you remember the first piece of music you remember that really impressed you, and then sort of take it, from there, just the music that you were listening to and the music you were producing, as you went along.
All right, wait. I just remembered something before I go into that. I never did tell you how the Freak Out album got put together.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't ever forget that question. That's
okay.
Good. Well, I got to tell you, Wilson came to the Whiskey A Go-Go while we were 5 pieces with Henry, and heard us sing the Watts Riot song. And he stayed for 5 minutes and says, yeah. Slapped me on the back, shook my hand. Wonderful, we're going to make a record of it. Goodbye. Didn't see him again for 4 months.
Yeah.
Sure, so he thought we were a rhythm and blues band. He went back, sign me another rhythm and blues band. On the coast. And they got this song about, got a couple of niggers in it, and he says nigger in there one, I don't know what it is, but it's a protest song, and we got them, they'll be okay. A couple of singles maybe, and then they'll die out. Alright, so then he came back to town, just before we were going to set up the first session. And we had a little chat in his room. That was when he first discovered that that wasn't the only thing that we played. And then things started changing, in terms of what we were going to do. We decided not to make a single, we were going to make an album. So he wouldn't give me an idea what the budget was on the album. but the average rock and roll album is going to cost about $5,000 to put together. I think the start to finish cost on Freak Out was somewhere around $21,000.
Wow.
What happened was, from the first day we went into the studio, the first tune we cut was Any Way the Wind Blows. Yeah, it's unfortunately a bad mix because the track is really good on that. And when he heard the track played back on that thing, he just went. And then we recorded Who Are the Brain Police, and he got on the phone and called New York, and I got this thing. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but all right. So then I got more or less an unlimited budget to do this monstrosity. The next day, I had whipped up these arrangements for a 22-piece orchestra, and they were wheeled in the following day, and we cranked out the 4 large orchestra songs, which is not just a straight orchestra accompanying the singers. It was like the Mothers' 5-piece band plus 17 pieces. We're all working together. And then the editing took a long time, which ran the cost up, and meanwhile Wilson's sticking his neck out, and he laid his job on the line to produce the fucking thing. And then I think we would have sold 250,000 albums by now if MGM would have, one, not moved offices and slowed down in its hype of what the album was, and two, simply distributed the advertising material that was paid for out of our account to hype the record. They got buttons and stickers and stuff sitting up the office now that were never gotten to the stores.
What about that map of Los Angeles?
Well, it's my fault. I've got it in my room right now. I'm finishing it off. I got the first side finished, but see, I made the map, and then all these things started happening. Disaster A, disaster B, and now I'm redoing the thing on there about Pandora's Box, because I want to get that on there. And we've got people that have sent for it that are screaming for their bread, so it's going to go out. I'll finish the thing off this week. It's just a question of redoing that and putting some pictures on the other side of the map, but it'll be really groovy. So that's how the first Freak Out album got together.
How has it been selling, by the way?
It's selling very well. In fact, the MGM felt that they had spent too much money on it already, and were going to let it die. But it started selling again, and it kept on selling, and now they don't know what it is. And I went down there the other day, and I went into this, big sales cheese office. I said, "You guys are fucked. You don't know what you're doing. You've got the Beatles on your hands, and you're sitting there with your thumb up your ass, and you don't know what you're doing, man." And he looked at me like, "I'm just crazy." And I said, "You sold, like this 1 week when we first came to New York. No extra hype, no nothing. There was 5,000 sales all over the country, and 40 of them in a town the size of a pumpkin in Wyoming." It was really unbelievable. And because they've just been letting it alone.
How have people been finding out about the album?
It's been word of mouth.
What do you know of your following? I mean, how is it developed?
We have quite a strong following, and it's pretty big. Like there's this one kid, he drove all the way from New Jersey on a motorcycle in the rain to see one of the shows at the balloon farm. Man, he was practically eating my shoes, and I said, "What is this?" We made a record and we put it out there. I didn't think anybody. We're from California, come out here, and here's this guy from New Jersey going out of his mind. He says, "All the kids over there really dig you guys, man." So we're being surprised every place we go. We went to the Michigan State. Went across the street to a record store, do a little hype, as we've done in the past. 400 kids come blasting in there for autographs, man, in a store about as big as this office. And the guy had the albums all over the store. It was blowing my mind.
Well,
they're out there, though.
It grows more. I hope, you get above ground to the point where some radio stations will, in answer to the public demand.
No. Our aim is to kill Top 40 radio within the next 6 months, if possible. And if you'll hear the second album, you'll see where that might happen. We've decided certain concessions have to be made before a record is air playable, right?